up, everybody? Wrongimer. Oh, he passed through and not here. Oh, well. Mary, Pat, Don, David, Valerie, Nikki, Deb. Welcome, everybody. I'm cold. Got my sweatshirt on. I live in this thing from about, I guess, it stayed warm through November this year, but, you know, I stay in it from about, usually October through about April. Anyway, this is the new one. It's Cotopaxi. It was fancy, but I tend to wear the elbows out. Yeah. Anyway, welcome everybody. I think the boss is busy tonight. Looks like we got about 30 people on the stream so far, and welcome. If you want to chat with me like these fine folks, the link right here, I guess right there, the green overlay right by me there. It says be a subscriber. Click that. A few seconds later, once you're a subscriber, you can chat on the live stream while I'm live. If I'm no longer live, you're going to have to leave a comment down below. And it's kind of the way it rolls. So we have PPI coming up. We had CPI this morning. We have PMI, flash manufacturing and flash services PMI coming up later in the week. But we have FOMC meeting tomorrow. Jerome Powell going to speak at 2:30. We have the FOMC, whatever they call it, the announcement at 2 o'clock. Friday is an epic option expiration. I think the number's up to 1.2 trillion right now. Probably going to be like 1.5, 1.8 by the time we get there. Kind of going to be, that could be a crazy, I mean, we could see a crazy pop right through that, honestly. And, the FOMC may not slow it down. We could see a epic run right on through the OPEX, and then something crazy happen. So we'll see what happens. Next week is the last full trading week of the year, and then we have the holiday week for Christmas, and then the holiday week, the New Year, and the holiday week for New Year's, and then we have choppy trading into January where we get holidays and not holidays, like MLK Day and whatever else, Groundhog Day. I don't know, whatever they close it for. And then finally we roll into, some sort of normalcy as we get into February, I guess. So that's kind of the layout for the next month or so in the market. And like I said, we have all these things coming up. We have PPI in the morning at 8:30 before the open. Now, if anybody had told you the CPI numbers ahead of time, like giving you this 0.3 core, 0.1 CPI month over month, and 3.1 year over year, would you have expected the pop, the drop, and then the rally into the close? Would you have expected that? I wouldn't have. I mean, kind of unexpected. And we continue grinding higher. We may pop right on up to that S&P 500 target that we're 70% likely to hit. Look how close we are now at this point. Straight up, once we cross the 618, that key resistance, 70% likely we're going to tag that. Do we make it up there tomorrow? Do we make it up there by Friday? I don't know. Is that the place we're going to have the reaction? I mean, is this going to be the Walmart moment? I mean, Walmart, everybody remembers, right? All my loyal followers, I'm sure you remember Walmart. It was my chart of the week back in, October? Way back here. Ran right up. It's that 1272. Same pattern. Same thing. Gap down. And we're still pushing lower. That was the target. All right. Be careful. Do we drop it? Be careful. Be careful. All right, just if we get to that 1272, 4718 on the cash index right there, please watch out. Now, we may just retrace back to the top, back to here. Ching, 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 before we get the extension. But on the other hand, we could retrace quite a bit deeper. Now, the retrace could come from here. We could come back, retest this zone, and pop on up. I'm not sure. All right. The market can keep pushing higher. The higher we push here, the deeper retrace we're probably going to get, and then the deeper extension we might get after that. Right now, I'm kind of expecting a higher high in 2024 than we had right back here at the peak. All right, the market actually topped out on January 5th. Like over here at the S&P 500, January 5th, right, like right there, right, not right there. Got to zoom out. Thinking 3-day chart. Zoom out right over there. January 5th or whatever, right over there, where we made the highest high. Right there, that little guy. January 4th, January 5th, 4th. Yeah. The close wasn't, I mean, the highest close we had was right there. So, it's likely we see a higher high than that high as we head into 2024. Think about it, though. We've just been sideways for a long freaking time in the market. I mean, zoom out and look at it. It's been up. It's been down. We're just going sideways. Haven't really been anywhere for 2 years. Here we are hanging out in December of 23, and we're right where we were December of 21. Hadn't gone anywhere for 2 years. If you feel like we've just been treading water, we have. We have. No progress, really. So, everything costs more money, and yeah. So, hold off your request just a minute. Give me a second. Give me a minute to run through everything. So, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. Is not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. All right, no financial instruments, no products, no nothing. All right, don't buy or sell anything don't buy anything from gurus that you don't trust. So don't buy stocks, don't buy options, don't buy Forex, don't buy futures, don't buy bonds, don't buy cryptos, don't buy them, don't sell them, don't long them, don't short them. And if you desire personal financial advice, that's not me. Don't ask me for advice. Hire a consultant financial advisor if you need that. That's the way it works. All right. So when we get to requests, which will be a few minutes, let me run through the market first. Then one ticker per chat message, one ticker, whichever one you want to pick. Let somebody else make some requests, and then you can go again. All right. Give other people a fair chance, just in case I need to end early. I want everybody to have a fair chance to get some tickers reviewed. All right. So we have PMI, PPI, FOMC, and an epic OPEX. And that's going to be the week this week. I mean, it's pretty stacked as we go on through. I mean, we have core PPI in the morning, FOMC at 2, Jerome Powell speaking at 2:30, and then Thursday, we roll in with core retail sales, unemployment claims, and then we roll into Friday with the flash services and manufacturing PMI, and Empire State Manufacturing. I mean, it's going to be, and the OPEX all on Friday. This is going to be probably the biggest week of the quarter, quite possibly, as far as economic news dumps go. And we're right down here. Like I said, 1 week left, one full week left next week. This week has Christmas. Holy cow. Christmas less than 2 weeks away. Better get your shopping done. And that's a holiday. So 4 days that week, 4 days the week after, and we're into 2024. Holy moly. Where did 2023 go? Last few days. Thank you for spending your time with me in 2023 as we wrap this baby up. So, all right, moving on. So, we have the red list. It's kind of like the blacklist on NBC, I guess. All right, stuff to talk about. Well, I talked about a lot of stuff this morning, so if you didn't watch the morning show, maybe you should go check that out after this, or when you get time anyway. I talked about kind of the big picture outline for going higher and where I think we're headed interest rate wise. So ES, look at that, ever since the rollover, the contract rollover, ES1 exclamation point, that's S&P 500 futures. If you didn't know, and they roll over. They expire every 3 months. We have an expiration, and the active contract jumps out 3 months. So right now, this rolled over from the December contract to the March contract, March 24, and we've been nothing but green. 3 big green days. And if you want to see the March contract without the rollover in it, right there it is. 4 big green days, right in a row. Now, interestingly enough, when we look at this contract as a standalone contract, look at this right here. We have not made a higher high yet. Isn't that interesting? Might you say? The roadmap line, just a little bitty blip right there. I'd say that's kind of interesting. That could take us up to 49.10 on the futures right there. So interesting there. Cash index does usually have precedence, but that's interesting. I feel like that's interesting right there, that it hasn't made a higher high. We could see, and look at that, 3-day candles. There's not a single red one in there since the bottom. Look back through here. You don't see that kind of price action. This is danger, like flashing danger red to me. Look, 3-day candles. Not a single red one off the lows. Think we're due a pullback? I think we're due a pullback. Look, if we go look at the cash, I mean, look, this one had some red days. And look, there's no period in time in here where we just get all those green. I mean, and if we do get a bunch of green ones in a row, look what happens. What goes up comes right back down. So I'm cautious. I am super cautious as we jam it higher here. Bamming and jamming. Big risks. Now, do we just do the crazy move and pop it? We might. All right, the simple chart was 47.18. The more data candle chart here, we have the potential to rally on up to 47.40. We got upside left. I mean, 70, like the pattern is 70% likely once we cross the 618. We're heading on up. Usually there's some sort of pullback in there, but hey, it's working. So be careful. That's what I gotta say. Now moving on down the road. In Q, this is Nasdaq, if you're unfamiliar, is hitting some targets here. This gives me more caution. We're coming up into the 1272 today. We hadn't been, Nasdaq hadn't really been participating in the last couple days. We came back with a vengeance here on the contract rollover, and we just shot up like a rocket. Why did I use the 3-day? Because it bounced off the roadmap line on the 3-day. See it right there? Bounced off the roadmap line on the 3-day roadmap line right there. Why the 3-day? Because it was the 3-day roadmap line pattern. Pop back over here. Pop back on the 3-day. Right there. 3-day market roadmap bounce. Saying, this thing works on all time frames, all right? It's just a slower move when it bounces off the 3-day. It blasted right through the 1-day. I don't usually flip to a 3-day. We kind of push down through. Well, funny enough, it bounced right off the 3-day. The weekly was on down there a little bit. Didn't make it to the weekly. Eventually, we'll come down and retest the weekly. May extend up here and then come back down and retest the weekly. Sometime over here. Could be sometime out here. And then we pop up, and then we see if we make a higher high again, or if we crush it on down. All right. Same pattern all the time, all the time, all the time. All right. Moving on. Russell. Still looking a little sketch here. Could not get its act together. We saw ES and NQ popping. Russell basically flat on the day. Almost flat. 0.1% and 2 points down. I mean, it's kind of nothing. Big red doji. Went up, went down, ended up almost flat. Indecision. Tried to break higher. Couldn't do it. Oil. Closed below 68. Now we see. Like, are we going to go? I mean, close below 69, excuse me. Close below my 69 level. I might be wrong. We might just push on down. We might head on down to the 50s. That might be where we're heading on oil. We'll see. 68 doesn't hold. Looks like we're going on down. Brent looks the same. Pushing on down. Lower low. How low does she go? And that one can go right back down to 70s, 70 area. Gasolina. Hey. All right, 20 something, 20 whatever percent lower than where we started the year. I think somebody said today. Right here, January 1st. Let's use the box button here. We started right over third. Right there. Tuesday, January 3rd. We opened up here. We're now down here. 20.5% lower on gas prices. This is the futures price, not the pump price. There's taxes and all sorts of stuff, but we broke below $2 pretty firmly today. Looks like we're going to head on down. Probably going to my target back here. Had these targets a long time ago. We may go down to $1.80 on the wholesale price. There are about $1 of taxes and junk added depending on where you live. Some states only have a few, 40, 50 cents added. Some states have like $1, $2. We may see that rally on down, or crush on down, I should say. Rally on down. Run on down into that $1.80 area down there where I had a target like a long time ago. Coming into the year. Heating oil, diesel prices kind of dropping out too. We may see that push on down to 238. If we can get below that, we could see it push on down to $1.80 also. Wouldn't that be crazy? That would be interesting. Natural gas heading on down. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Looks like we're going down to this $2 area, right down at the bottom of the box. Where when I said if we break below that line, likely to push on down. $2 looks like we're the area we might go test. Gold heading down to the roadmap line right here, probably back to 1950 area. If we break below that, we get below it, we could see a lower low, 1730, 1740, somewhere right in this area right here. Be careful, all the people calling for bullish gold. Not so sure. I was bullish right up until we hit that and rejected. And I closed my position after we did that because I was like, yikes. That was a 3-wave up right into that. Big correction usually ensues. Silver, right back down to the roadmap line. Couldn't break out. Not looking super bullish. More just sideways. The roadmap line is flat on the daily. You want the roadmap line? Link is in the description. It's like $5. And you get in Discord. Then we have copper, and copper rejected the breakout. Still bearish. I've been bearish on copper for a long time. Still bearish on copper. I think we may see this drop on down. 270. All right. We've got wheat and corn and sugar and pork and cattle and all soy and all sorts of stuff we could talk about. I'll touch on crypto really quickly, and then we'll get to your request. So Bitcoin getting a pullback after hitting the targets. That got really extended to the upside. I'm actually happy to see some pullback because that was getting a little crazy. Straight up off that low in September. Up, 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 up. We needed a pullback. Kind of expect to pull back into this 35 area if we're going to continue to pull back. I mean, this little guy, this little thing we did could be all we need. We have like a little mini channel type thing in there. Let's see, get the parallel channel here. Look right here. Look right there. You see how we were in a channel. We busted out, came back. We're kind of retesting the channel. We could bounce and go higher. If we break back into the channel, we're probably going to go retest the bottom of the channel. If the channel doesn't hold, we're coming down here. It's that simple. There's lots of stuff drawn on the chart. I use these charts to trade with. So, but there you go. Look, I mean, you can see the channel. We all of a sudden got a little excited and ran out of steam and came back, and we've been just parked right on top of the channel all of today. All right. Ethereum, it broke out, ran up to the 1272, which let's just clean up the chart at this point. Zoom this out just a little bit, clean up the chart. Look, this retrace right here, it was a bigger time frame retrace because it went below the roadmap line, but right up to the 1272, retrace to the 100. Now, the big question of the hour: do we hold that big blue line I just drew right there from the highs? Do we hold that breakout and push higher up to the 1618? Or does price get below it and we retrace back to the roadmap line again? So there's your targets. We're either going to break out and run up here, or we go revisit this right down here. It could take a little while. So if we see continued weakness in Ethereum going down here, if that doesn't hold, watch out below. Ethereum has not been acting very well ever since we did the swap to proof of stake back here in September last year. It has not been really, I mean, this is looking overlapping and garbagey, and kind of has me concerned that if we pop right up into that 618 level right there, we get that little extension, that would be a first move down, a 618 retrace. And you know what that means, right? For those of you who've been following me, we tend to echo moves when we hit that 618. We could see Ethereum back at 400. That's not good. I think they wrecked it. They fundamentally changed what Ether was right here. We could see that happen, even with Bitcoin climbing. Highly cautious on Ethereum right now. Highly cautious. I may be closing all my position out that I have if we stop right there. Dogecoin trying to break out, has not been able to break above these prior highs. Got some resistance in here where we've rejected several times. We're rejecting again. Not the most bullish. All right, be careful. Dogecoin, I don't think that they dump 10,000 of these on the market every few minutes. So think about it. The market has to absorb 10,000 at 9 cents just to maintain the price. That's fundamentally different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin only has 21 million there'll ever be, and we've got 19.5 million of them out in the world. There's allegedly like 6 to 8 million of them that have been lost, if not more. That reduces supply further. You know, we're never recovering those, and we're not making more. So be careful. You know, so far we got 7.09% pullback there. Ethereum has no limit. You know, it's not a cap supply. Another reason it can go on down. Other things with no cap supply, like Solana, Dogecoin, TRX, DOT, you know, the ones that do have a cap supply have this little bar here. So you wonder what side I'm on? I'm on CoinMarketCap. And it shows there's like 2 million cryptos with 683 exchanges. You ever like, golly, it seems like there's a lot of exchanges. Yeah, 683 of them to be exact that are registered on CoinMarketCap. And crypto has a $1.6 trillion market cap. And we look at that on TradingView. Pop over really quickly. Pull this up. Hold on. Right here, I have my crypto power plays list. I have total right there. See, we hit some mighty big extensions right there, and a pullback pretty warranted on the total market cap for crypto. We may come back right down in this area, right around 1.3, 1.4. It looks like we're pulling back. All right, just be careful. All right, so now I'm going to take some requests. I had Rongamer, who couldn't be with us on the live stream, make a request. So I'm going to hit his first, which was EQT, which was on the market roadmap. No, it was on the VVD list for the week. Volume velocity divergence, which is my indicator. And looks like we're going for. So we're going for it right there. Going for the 618 retrace. If we hold that zone, we get turn up. Now you may be like, VVD, what are you talking about, VVD? I was selling this earlier today, giving people an offer. Here's what it does. This is my indicator, and it shows up like this. This is the indicator. This is not me putting the alerts on here. That's the indicator right there. Draws the line, draws the target, gives you the buy entry. If you're interested in that, jeffreytrader.com/VVD. Or I guess prosperitypub.com/VVD. So, all right. Something I wrote. It's like 267 lines. It barely runs in TradingView because it kind of stresses it. I actually wrote it in Python, and then they wanted me to make it so everybody could use it on their chart. So, lo and behold, I did. All right, so EQT looks like we're going to push on down into that 618 retrace of the whole big move up. And it may fire off a VVD. EQT. It's hunting a bottom. Only has a strength of 1 so far. No divergences on the volume. So, all right. And I see a request for BA, which is going for the target. 262. It's that relatively that simple. 260, 262. Once we broke above the 618, that was the name of the game. That was like the last little bit it had to break above. And hey, looks good to me. Been nothing but up since the bottom. Riding right with the market, basically. If we top out up here in the next day or two, watch out. Probably going to come way back down. Could come right back down there. Alrighty. And MARA. Hey. Rejected at the 76. We want to see it hold above this prior high here. If it gets back below that, we're going back to the roadmap line. Wherever that roadmap line might be at the time. We're going back to visit it. Then if we don't hold that, we're going deeper. Support below that would be down here. Back to the box. Fudge. Fudge, I say. I don't really want to see it go back to there. I'd rather just get going, but presented with the pattern, if we break below that gap up, watch out. All right. And MELI is hanging out at the target and likely to retrace it. We didn't do either of those, so interesting. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Up to the 1618, retracing. Could we break through? Yeah. That's that'd be a way up there though. I'm thinking we may retrace. It may do one of these. It could be like this one. Be careful. That's target zone. That's not get long zone. And is there a high probability of retrace? No, it doesn't have to. I would be careful. I would have been looking for a long here, getting off in here probably, and not in it here. There's no high probability anything I do right there at that point. Yeah, FOMC, yeah, it's definitely a roll the dice moment. What are we doing? I've been trying to sprinkle my unicorn dust. I keep it right here under my keyboard. Been trying to sprinkle this everywhere and find out what we're doing, but I don't know. Yeah, it's economical. It's cheap. It's lightweight. I mean, pretty good, but doesn't work with a darn trying to predict the market. So be careful. All right. Yeah. All right. Moving on down. CCL. Somebody drew a big orange box that stopped price right dead in its tracks there. Ugh. We may turn down from here. If we can get above these highs, probably going on up. 21, 24. But we may also retrace back to the roadmap line. That was one big move up. We may retrace right back down. Be careful. At CCL, we're either going to break out or retrace. I mean, that's all the time, though, right? I said that was probably a resistance. You see how we chopped? We chopped here for a couple weeks. There was a reason I drew the big orange box on the thing. I mean, unfortunately for price, right? It respected the box. Stopped right there. You'd think after years of doing this, all of a sudden it's magic that I can see them pretty clearly where we're going to stop. It doesn't always work, but a lot of times we just pop right up there and hang out. If we consolidate and slowly grind up, we may break out and go on up. If it starts breaking back down, breaks that gap, like here's the real. If we get back below this gap right there, that little gap right there, we get below that little gap, we're probably going back down the roadmap line. Probably. All right. Simple as that. All right. Moving on. And I just rolled the chat. All right. And Matic. And we can look at Matic. There you go. Failed to break up. Probably going down to the roadmap line. 1, 2, 3, right to the roadmap line. Just happens to line up right there. Lowest low, highest high. And that happens to be right at the 50% retrace. Could go down to the 1272, which is the 618 retrace. Which could set up a measured bounce setup. So That looks like it's in for a retrace at this point. And if we did the measured bounce, take us up to 199. From that level up there, potentially. That'd be a pretty nice move, but probably going to suffer through some more correction first. That's what we got. All right. I don't trade cold. Cold is leveraged. Be careful on leverage. Ultra short natural gas. I don't mess with this one. It's up right up to the target, though. 122. Watch out. Leverage stuff doesn't always follow my patterns, though. That's the trick. Like, I'm not bearish by nature. I tend to be more of bullish nature. I mean, even though this is going up, SVXY is about one of the only ones I like to short. This one, look at that. Look how close that is to the target. And we didn't even do the retrace. We just hung for a couple days and then pushed right on up higher. All about to get the super aggressive target. That's craziness. Just straight craziness. Made about 20 grand on this pop. I mean, Wrongover last night was asking me if I regretted closing this. I was like, shoot, no, man, I made 20 grand. Are you kidding me? Like, I love every minute of that. And hitting the target's just like, wow, that's cool. And when we get the next pullback, I'm going to be all over it again. All right? Every one of these 15 to 20% pullbacks we've done since COVID times. COVID dropped this one off the cliff like a lemming. But every time we've done a 15 to 20% pullback ever since, it happens really regularly. Look how many times it's happened since COVID. Pull back, 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 pull back. That one took a little longer. Then we pulled back, and then we shot forward higher right there. Every time we do that 10 to 15% pullback, 15 to 20% pullback, we shoot right back up in about the next 45 trading days. Sometimes we go higher. Sometimes we just make the same high. Like back here, we kind of made the same high, made the same, slightly lower high, same high, slightly, well, that one took a little while to get back up. Then we retraced immediately. Then we took a little what to get back up. So this has been pretty regular. 15 times it's worked right in a row. Think it's going to work 16? Quite possibly. So cold, meh, I don't trade it. So AVGO, man, right up to the targets, man. Golly. Crazy moves. That's pushing the 2618. Barely a pullback in there. God, be careful. That one's gonna retrace at some point. There's no way it doesn't. I mean, could push on up into that 1100 area. Jeez, be careful. And she just drops out sometimes too, so be careful. All right, COP. That was on one of my watch lists this week. I don't remember. Probably the VVD. Yeah. Hanging out under the roadmap line. Nothing really to talk about. It's not doing anything. Got resistance. If we're going to go higher, got resistance there. Come on. Draw. Oh, that's crooked. If we're going higher, got to get above that to go higher. Otherwise, we rejected at the 786. That can easily in the bigger picture take us down here. See where the weekly roadmap line. We haven't been down there in a while. May go mess with it. Maybe on a path to the weekly roadmap line. Hope not the monthly, but it could. Could take a trip on down. 2. Yeah, 1618. Could happen. Oil could just be pretty horrible for the next little bit. Be careful. Litecoin, LTC, USD. Nothing. Sideways. Choppy. Corrective. Crap. Even on the daily. Look at it. Just tried to break through the roadmap line, get pushed right back down in this corrective overlapping junk. Nothing. Just off a lower extension there. That's no bueno. Just sideways choppy. Nothing. Sideways choppy, nothing. STM. Sideways choppy, nothing. See the roadmap line? Gives it a downward sideways bias. Nothing. Tesla is... I actually had this drawn on a different chart. It's a little cleaner. Look. Tagged the roadmap line today. Didn't even get close to the downtrend line. This is a downward bias until we break that downtrend line. I kind of drew this big arrow that we may come over here. If we get below that, and we're in this wedge, we may fill out this wedge. If we break down below the wedge, we're kind of holding these lows, kind of holding the roadmap line. If we get below it, watch out. Could extend down here, that 180 area. If we break above, we could get a big pop. Could take us up to 330 to 350. I mean, so we got cooking right now, but we're in a downtrend. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Even if we pop up and break a higher high than this, if we make a lower high, that's not good. Watch out, all right? Look, we came up to a 618 retrace right there. This was a big 1, 2, 3 to low. We rallied up strong, stopped. Almost on the money. Almost on the money right there, look. That's 618. I don't even have my fib line pulled to the top there. What does that mean? JT, what does that mean? Look. In the simplest form, that means this whole thing, whole big move down, corrective, whole move up, probably also corrective. That was kind of an A, a B, and a C, pop into the high. That means we could see a big move that matched that move right off of here. Oh, look, it puts us down in that 180 or lower area right down there. Not going to surprise me one darn bit. All right. Be careful on Tesla. Please be careful. TIA looks like garbage. Coin is stuck at resistance and probably going to pull back. And Google is chopping sideways, higher low, lower high. That's a wedge pattern. I'm not even on the other, on my simplified chart here. That's a wedge. Those are unreliable. They can break higher, they can break lower. And typically the breakout is like the size of the beginning move. So does it break down? Does it break up? That's a good question. And it's only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's always the question. Is this the first move or is this the first move? I don't know. This one was, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We hit it right where the 1 is. This could be 5. We touch it. And then if we break higher, we're going up. If we break out, we're coming on down. That's a huge range. My sloppier chart, I thought we would break higher, but at this point, this is kind of a reversal. Look, peak, higher peak, lower peak. It kind of sets it up to retrace. I'd be careful on Google. Not feeling it. UEC is just grinding higher. Hey, sometimes they do that. Big picture. That was the high. That was the low. 870. And I have to warn you because it's low price. Stuff under $10 doesn't always follow these patterns. It's kind of like maybe, maybe not. But 872. PLTR. Everybody wants this to be a beautiful, beautiful go higher, but kind of rejected right at the 1272 extension there. That pop up coming down, probably gonna get a deeper retrace. I'm thinking probably. That could have been a 5 up. That was the higher high. It technically qualified, didn't have to extend. Technically qualified, and that retrace would not surprise me one bit. I've had it on here a while, right around 12. And in fact, if we get down there, I'm probably going to buy a crap load of it. I was riding like a lot when we did this pop over here. I only made like 8 grand, I think, but I'll probably load back up if we get down there. That's PLTR for you. Dang it. Chat jumps every now and then. It just wrecks where I was at. It's like I want to go down 1. ADBE. It looks like we're going to push up to the resistance. That one's being strong in the face of everything else kind of correcting. So resistance is right there at the prior high. I kind of said for a while we're probably likely to go test that. It just keeps grinding. It's going to grind right up in there. And then watch out for rejection because we haven't been down the roadmap line since May. Highly likely we get a retrace back down in there. TAL. I think I liquidated out of this one. I was in this one for a couple years. In some shares, selling calls along the way. I think I got taken out at 8. Popping on up now. Where do we go from here? See, we hit that 1272, retraced. Next target up 1624. GKNG. And right up to the 1618. If that holds right there, we could push on up into 45. If we break down below that 34 area, probably come down to the roadmap line wherever we meet up, maybe around 30. That's DKNG for you. Uber has been a monster. Keeps on going. I kind of speculated we may see it top out right around this 65 to 67 area. Based on the last move up off the roadmap line. This one right here. See right there. Maybe top out right up in there. It's just an echo move. We did that same move. Do the same move. Right off the same retrace. That retrace was almost exactly the same. Right up in there. That's Uber. Simple as that. XRP. XRP USD. Nothing. Do you want to know the one I like? Look. Yeah. Fed now. That's your Fed now action. They just got it online. If you didn't know, Fed now runs on Avalanche. Guess what? Fed now runs on Avalanche. Surprise. Probably going to come up, probably find some resistance at this point up here. I am long about, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these. Not a lot, just a dot. The other one I like, Solana. Look at that one. Scraping right at my target, the bottom of my box. Kind of would like to see this rally on up into this 90 to 130 area. Possibly 140. May have to consolidate a little bit before I can get the energy to do that. I mean, it's up like 700%, 800% this year. Yeah, almost 800%. Pulling back just a little bit, but you know, almost 800% off the lows back here in December. I mean, there's your big mover right there, Solana. I got in at 25 right here. Pop. All right. SQQQ is going to be a leveraged inverse thing and not subject to the pattern, but looks like it's going to push on down to the target at 14. That is leveraged and inverse. Be careful. Roku. If we hold here, we can go higher. If we don't hold that breakout, probably come back to the roadmap line. Simple as that. Uber, go. Well, Uber going on the S&P doesn't matter to me. Like, it's just doing the same pattern. STLA. Yeah, look at that. Right up into that. I've got a target right up here to potentially sell this at 23.30. Gotta watch. If it gets to that 1618 level, I'm gonna put another one right up above it too. I'm potentially gonna short this one. They have like a ridiculous amount of inventory sitting on a lot. Ridiculous. My fib lines are all over the place. Not even sure what was going on there. Pull that up just a little bit more, then right we go. Could be talking like a $10 retrace target here. Could. All right. BKKT. This is a gambling stock right here. This is playing with fire while your hands are soaked in gasoline, juggling, flaming matches. If it breaks above this, it could shoot up to this $5 to $9 area. If it breaks down below the roadmap line, probably going down to like 30 cents. All right. Be careful on that one. Be careful on BKKT. UAL is right up to the roadmap line. That's resistance right there. Watch for reaction right there. MSFT. Looks like it wants to do an extension. It did the 1272, did the retrace back to the breakout. Can we get the extension to the 1618? I don't know. That was the target. That was the retrace. Can we break up, or do we break down and go back to the roadmap line? So there's your targets. Limited upside versus somewhat outsized downside. Alrighty. SQ Square. Come on, baby. I am long a couple hundred shares of Square. Have been through this whole dip. Back to break even. like to see it break on higher. None of that stuff worked out. We bounced right off the target. I mean, look, that was simple. Roadmap line bounce right down to the target. Pure good stuff right there. The confluence of targets between that one and that one. Yeah, perfect. All right, so resistance is now formed with those highs right there. We're just coming up into it. If we get above it, we are potentially going on up pretty big. If we reject off of it with another lower high, that's no bueno. No bueno. Coming up into the test point right there. Imagine that. Why do I have alerts set there? Because that's where I need to see it break through. Break through. You can kind of see my dash line. You can see my alerts pop up there when I move my mouse over them. I need Square to break through that downtrend and then break through that prior high. I don't know what RYCEY, Rolls Royce. Yeah. Super low priced. Be careful. Looks like we got resistance right here. No pullbacks to work with, really. Not really much to work with. That one just wet the bed. Holy cow, we were bobbing along just fine, and then took a big dive there. Yeah, I'm nothing. No high probability anything. That's nothing I do says that's doing anything. There's resistance here. We're into it. Could we go back up into the $12 area? Yeah, we could. It's not a big mover. There's not much opportunity here, so if you're chasing it, good luck with you. Netflix still holding on that $500 target. I bought at 401. Bought some shares. Unfortunately, I got a margin call. I had to sell 4 out of my 5 shares. Still sitting on 1 share. Still expecting $500. In fact, I got my target at 516. Came up just, that was stupid. Came up just shy of the breakout and retraced. That's kind of what I expected S&P to do. Come up just shy of the target, retrace, and then start running again. If we get below here, we're coming on down back to the roadmap line. Will I hold on to my 1 share? Yeah, I'll hold it. I'm pretty confident we're going to run up here. I do kind of expect that to be the bottom, and we to pop on up here. Earnings aren't coming up for a while, till mid-January. Got plenty of time to do some crazy stuff. All right, DKNG, I already covered that one, I'm pretty sure. 90% sure. ETSY did a little mini bounce off the roadmap line. Little micro bounce. It hit the 1272 at 86, 88, just above it. That's it. I mean, doesn't have much to work with. Didn't make big moves. Little retrace, little extension, probably a little retrace, little extension, little retrace, little extension. That's what it's been doing since it came up off the lows. Could we get up to 93? Could. All right. NVIDIA. So, look at this. We were kind of in a downtrend. We had a high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high for a couple days, and then we popped through, ran back up to retest the high, rejected, came back down, back tested the breakout. Broke out of that downtrend line, retested it, turned back higher. It kind of sets us up to take a run here. 532, 571, kind of the upside targets here. And the market is back open. And like I showed a minute ago, a few minutes ago, hour ago, if you look at this, and you go this, and you go this, and you go back down to the 30-minute, and you zoom it up. Boom, buy entry. Target was 479. And AGCL, ACGL. Yeah, Alan, you didn't have to ask a bunch of times. Jeez, I think we got the point. Anyway, I was way behind in the show. Apologize. Not as fast all the time. Try to give everybody a little attention. And we've gone at least 30 minutes, so probably nothing till we break above that. 94, 99 above that. Otherwise, can do that. ISRG was getting slammed for the on the GLP-1 drugs. Finally broke out. Stopped at the 618. Cautious. Cautious, cautious. That's the prior high right there. See, it was a gap over here. Look. Isn't this weird? It was a gap zone. Kind of bounced. Broke through. Hit the resistance. Came up. Stopped at that exact same spot where we gapped before. That just happens to be the 618 level. That's an important level. If we get above here, 325, probably going on up to 384. In fact, I may, what did I say, 325? 326. We break up through there. 384, maybe 419. Not too bad. FedEx just brought me a package a little right before I got on here. 3 memory cards. All right. 277. We basically hit that. Possibly through 285, but possibly retrace to the roadmap line if we get back below the breakout point. Simple as that. Oh. Didn't pull the fib down. Gosh, darn it. We could go on up. There we go. Didn't pay attention. Already had the fib drawn. So we could go on up to 283. If we break back below, I still watch out. Like, we could do that. You can go 283. SYM. Yeah. 73. Nothing changed. No difference. PayPal is still pretty bearish. Hanging out under the roadmap line. Look at that. Look at that nasty chart. That roadmap line hanging right with the downtrend line. Got minimal upside to retest that. We get above it. It could be a breakout. We don't. Turn it down, baby. I've had that 44 on there for a long time. Over a year, I think. Maybe a year and a half. Slow bleed out. All right. AMD. I did NVIDIA already. AMD targets are 140 and 150. 140, 150. And watch out after we get to 150. Not much juice left on that. Boom. And we did NVIDIA, Meta. Looks like it's got limited upside. I mean, it could break out. The breakout would be like 450. but we're gonna have to do some work here. Got these highs, big set of stuff to get through between 350 and 385. It's just grind. It may grind up through there and then pop. It may grind here well into next year and then pop. UPS still bearish. Oh man, look at that. 1272 back to the 100. May test the roadmap line and go for the extension. ZS. And hit some extensions to 209. Could push on up 217 before we get the next big pullback. We did a great big move up here. Chopped corrected for a couple months. Pop, corrected, pop, big pop. Probably correct. Probably get another correction. And we're coming up on this important level. Like, see, I have support there, resistance there, dip down, held right there, pop, and drop back to it, push through it, bounce up, and run away from it. So watch out for the reaction there. It could result in a bigger pullback that takes us back near the roadmap line. Snow. Did it break out finally? Yeah, pushing higher finally. 207, 226. Top of those ranges. Probably find some resistance at 207. I was thinking we might get kind of bearish, but prove me wrong. I mean, big picture though, there's no trend. It's just sideways, choppy, garbage. It's still overlapping sideways chop, and that's not the kind of thing I trade. So I've not taken any trade, not doing anything. ITA. A nice little breakout here. 1272 may retrace, then run up to 130. 130. Felt like something fuzz went my nose. PT. I don't think I got the second PT. And stopped at the 618. That can result in a down. Watch out. Can do that. Rejected the 618. LYFT. It's a 3-wave up. Be careful. It's bearish if it stops here. More bullish if we stop up here. If we get up here, that's bullish. Probably correct. And go higher. Could correct deeper. If we turn down right here, probably going lower low. All right, DOCU. Last call. That's a lower high. For gosh sakes, be careful. That one may go lower. Could go out of business. Needs to break out. Got to get above this stuff over here. All right. Hit the button. Yeah. All 60 of you left. Thanks for coming. I'll be live again in the morning. And thanks for watching. If anything I said was beneficial for you, give me a thumbs up. Give me some love. Give me some reaction. And share with your friends. I'll be back with you again in the morning. Thanks for coming. And Oracle, did you cover this morn? I put today. I mean, ORCL. Well, here you go. Potential target. There you go. All right. Have a good day, everybody. I'll see you again in the morning. Bye for now.